No, we're in Gimel. Section 3. So we are learning Likkutei Sichot, volume 4. From Matot, section 3. מכך שהצורך בפרישות של נדרים הוא כשאדם מצוי במצב של נחיתות וחושך והם ביקשו חשבונות רבים. The Rebbe said that the time to use these vows is when a person is in a low state spiritually, in a state in which he's very much dependent on the physical world, meaning he's not able to stand above the physical, he's rather dependent on it. So it's driving him down, it's drawing him down to a lower place. הרי מובן שהמפיר ומתיר את הנדרים עומד במצב נעלה ביותר. So the person who is, now vows can be annulled. And there are two ways that it can be annulled. It can be either annulled at the moment that it's made, or it can be annulled later, after the person already made the vow, and it even kicks into action.
Within a certain time.
No, that's the hafara. That's the when it's right near the time that it was made. So then there's an onah. It has to be in the same onah, in the same not 24 but 12 hours. אלא שיש לו גם את הכוח, שלא זו בלבד שלגביו אין צורך בפרישות של נדרים, אלא שיש לו גם את הכוח להשפיע מישהו מחמת מצבו נזקק לנדר, שגם הוא יוכל להיות בעולם ולהתעסק בו, ועם זאת לא להיכשל. So the person who's able to annul a vow, who is this? This is the Talmid Chacham. This is the person who is parush from the world. He is removed from his dependency on material reality. This type of person not only can annul a vow, but he doesn't need vows in the first place. Rather, he has the power to influence those who are dependent on the physical world, to influence them to make vows in the right way, so that they too can immerse themselves in the physical without being hurt by it. משום כך אנו רואים זאת גם למעשה שהמפירים מתירים את הנדר עומדים בדרגה נעלית יותר מאלו שמקבלים על עצמם את הנדר. Indeed, this is how the Torah sets it up. That the person who annuls has to be higher, as it were, than the person who is making the vow. The first example is a father who annuls the vow of his daughter, of his not yet mature daughter, a daughter who is even 12 years old but is not yet physically mature. הרי כל שבח נעוריה לאביה, because we see that halachically, today that's not an issue even, but back in those times, if a girl was working, she started working at a very young age. I don't know, making garments or whatever she was doing. So the shevach, meaning the profit of her work, belonged to the father. She had to give it to her father. In that sense, he's above her. Abala mefer, the other example is the husband who annuls the vow of his wife. The woman has belongs to the authority of her husband. That's how the Torah sets it up. And all the more so, the Talmid Chacham, the wise man, who has to, if he's a single person, he has to be samuch, or at least he has to be sover umevin, gamir v'savir. He has to be somebody who knows all of Torah and be able to add in Torah. That's the savir. Otherwise, it has to be three people. It can be three hedyotot, three people who are not chachamim, but they have to at least be gamir. Gmirei, sorry. They have to at least be someone who can sit in a class and understands what's being said. If they don't understand that, they can't be on a based in that annuls the vow. In any case, so these three, especially according to the Rishonim, to the medieval sages, they say there is a shita there in the Ramban that he has to be a chacham musmach. He has to have smicha, meaning authority, going all the way back to Moshe Rabbeinu. So in any case, what do we get from this fact? The Rebbe is not trying to teach us the laws of Nadarim. He's trying to teach us something a little bit different. What is he trying to tell us? He's trying to tell us that what we'll see tomorrow, we'll say today very quickly, is that in the same way that in the real world, the person who is annulling the vow has to be higher, has to be of higher stature, higher spiritual stature than the person whose vow is being annulled. In the same way, it exists within each one of us. That the part of us that is higher, that is concerned to be more supernal, is what we call our faculty of wisdom, the sphere of wisdom in the person. The faculty of wisdom, the wisdom is what annuls the vow. The part of us that makes the vow is the part that's connected to reality, and that's called the understanding, the bina. So the bina makes the vows, it's the feminine, and the chokhmah has the power to annul them. And this will bring us into, tomorrow, God willing, into a whole discussion of the relationship between these two parts of our intellect, the chokhmah and the bina, and how they influence our lives all the time. So God willing, we'll see this tomorrow. And now we'll go daven. It's possible. Yeah.
No?
It can be. It's not a problem. You can see it that way. But there were also women who actually made vows.